Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is going to be part 2 on how to save money. Today we'll be talking about how to take care of your debts. I'll be showing you the system that I've been using throughout the years. So the way I've done it is basically, uh, we all have bills. So basically what I've done is I make sure that I pay all the bills that month, of course. And then what I end up doing before that though is I actually ask myself, you know, you got to figure out how you get paid. So either you get paid in cash or in debit card transactions. In my case, I have both. And so what I do is, like I said, I pay all the bills that I have for the month. And then basically every chance that I get, um, like when I get cash, I try to grab a little bit of that and I try to put it into like a little spot basically where I can keep an eye on it so I know that I'm constantly seeing that. And so basically what you want to do is eventually you want to have what I've done is I've used some Ziploc bags here, and so I don't know if you can see that from here, but basically what I've done is with this particular client is I actually had them give me a few of their bills. So in this case we have like a Best Buy, I have like a student loan, and like another Hoppo bill right here. And so normally like what I did with this client is I had them do 3 to 5 baggies, and then I have 2 more other ones right here. One's for your emergency, and then the other one is just fun money. That's what I like to call it. And so basically, like I said, you pretty much go through your month, you pay all your bills, and then anything, in this case, that you have cash as extra, you save it. And so you want to do that for a few months, and then, or like let's say you can do it every month or whatever you want to do. And so basically what you want to do is you want to count your money at the end of the month, and then you want to divide however much you saved into, in this case, 3. You got 5 categories right here, and so then that'll give you that exact split. And so you want to keep this going basically. And then also forgot to mention, yeah, well of course you want to put the bill that you got, you want to put the month and the year, and then you want to put obviously how much you're putting into the bag. And also another thing that I've learned throughout the years is that with the emergency one and the fun money is I actually don't keep track of those, because I've learned that eventually when you end up using your emergency money or your fun money, you have no idea how much is in there. So the day that you actually do need it, it's kind of like a reward or bonus to you. And so that's kind of how I picked up on it before. But like I said, as far as all your other bills, you definitely want to keep track of that. And basically, eventually, it's going to be a snowball effect at that point. Before you know it. With this particular client, I've had them start in July of this year, 2020, and recently they were actually able to pay off a couple loans just today actually. And so the way that worked is because of the system. Basically, they have their job, they started saving their cash on the side, and then they kept paying their bills, just like anything else. And then basically, eventually they kept distributing their money at the end of the month, and eventually, they got close to paying off the first bill and the next. And so basically the nice thing about that is that you're more controlled, you're organized, so now you know kind of what you really have, what's for what category. And yeah, so that's kind of how I've done it. Something pretty basic and simple. Like I said, for me, it's easier to save cash versus card transactions. So I try to, pay as much as I can online, and obviously some cash, and then whatever difference that I have in cash, I do this, And so that's what's helped me. And like I said, this particular client today paid actually two debts off. So here pretty soon, this client's gonna be able to pay off the other ones, and then before you know it, you're gonna have more savings because now you paid 2 debts off. So it's gonna be that snowball effect.
Right. Awesome. Cool. So, how about let's jump into like tips, like applicable to the person kind of thing, right? So how can the viewer apply some of these things to their life, and how should they? How could they? Not should. How could a person, implement some of these things, or what are a couple other tricks that we can come up with that a person could implement to make this process successful?
To make this realistic?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
like, first thing a person should know is how much they're going to make each month, right?
yeah.
And then from there they can figure out their cost of living, how much they have to pay for their bills that aren't, fun money or even emergency or whatever, just stuff they know
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
gonna pay, like
Yeah, yeah.
car and house and stuff. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
And then so paying off debt.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can figure out how much they're gonna need to pay towards a debt, which then will in turn become their savings when they pay it off.
Yeah.
Right. So, what are some tricks that we know of that maybe have helped you or that you use aside from bags? 'Cause
Yeah.
I love the bag trick. That's great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
visual.
It's visual,
It's
yeah,
there. It's
that's the
not
thing.
in the bank. It's
Yeah.
not like, okay, I know I'm saving some money.
Yeah.
It's in the bank, but I don't really see it because it's not.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
The bags are like, here it
Right
is.
there. Yeah.
I love how once you pay one off, it's empty.
Yeah.
So that's very visual.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
like the snowball, you could take that and start paying it
Yeah.
towards another bill.
Basically,
right?
yep.
So,
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, for me, it was a little different. I actually never had really an emergency or a fund money. That kind of came with time. But basically, it just kind of depends, of course, on the person. I feel like with having the emergency and the fund money, I feel like it's not so strict. It's not so overwhelming for the person trying to do the system. But I mean, ways that you can go about it is just simplify it. If 3's too much, I mean, start with 1. And if it requires to get another job or to put in overtime, I mean, that's just what it comes down to. So that's kind of what I would recommend is just start with what you can. I've had people start with 5, 6 baggies, let's just say, but for the most part, I kind of like to keep it simple. But of course, to do this, you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit. But I think at the end of it all, it's gonna be worth it because you're gonna be a little bit more organized. You're gonna be more controlled, and like I said, you just gotta figure out what works for you. For me, it's easier to save cash, and so I've gone this route. And so, yeah, it's kind of something that I've just picked up along the way. I think it's realistic and it works.
I love it. I might actually start using plastic bags. I kind of done similar where I'll put it in a box or something.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's a project that. So with video, if I have to buy music rights or something.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll take, especially if somebody pays me cash, I'll take part of that, whatever.
Yeah.
And especially where a lot of the time I get paid up front. I
There
don't
you
want
go.
to just blow through it.
Yeah,
while I've
no,
still
yeah.
got time to work on the project, so I'll
No,
put
yeah.
it aside. And if I've got to hire somebody, I can pull out of it. If I need
Yeah.
to buy music, if after the project's complete, then it's basically unlocked.
Yeah, there you go.
It's
Yeah.
usable at that point. But so kind of similar with the cash, in a box or something, so it's
Mhm.
kind of more visual. But
Yeah.
not quite to where I've got my credit card debt, a baggie for it. That's through checking and banking
There you
and
go.
online payment, whatever. And so
Yeah.
it almost kind of it's a lot less hands-on and
There you
visual
go.
as the
Yeah,
bags is,
I'm more of a visual person myself, so like I said, I've always done this. I know I got another person that's trying to try the system out too, and they just get card transactions. So I'm having them, at the end of the month, take the extra money out, and then start this, so that way it's controlled, you know. You gotta be disciplined, you know. To be organized, it takes sacrifice, so, you know, you gotta figure out what works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like that, the organization and discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, before you know it, you know, it works because it works.
Right.
You know, it's not gonna make you rich. It's gonna make you organized, though.
Yeah. Well, all the richest people are organized, man.
There you go.
Maybe it's
You
with
know?
systems, you know, or like this is your little system, you know.
Yeah.
because- You know, but that's the thing, because the people that aren't organized, and hopefully the people that will take something from this,
Yeah.
maybe cut that out. People that aren't organized, you know, the ones that are, like I was mentioning earlier, you know, get a paycheck, go and
Yeah.
fill the tank and get a candy
No,
bar
yeah.
and coffee and
Yeah, definitely.
a
I
lottery
mean,
ticket, and oh, I've got money, time to go
Yeah.
spend it. Whereas, you know, when you have these systems implemented and you're like,
Right.
okay, I got paid, I'm going to put
Yeah.
this much to this bill, I'm going to put this much to this bill, and now I've got this much left over that I can put in my savings.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Maybe give myself a little bit of money because I worked hard
Yeah,
the last
see?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay, but like being aware of what you need to spend
Yep.
is priority.
Yeah, you
so
gotta
can
make
cover
calculate-
everything and be organized and responsible.
Yep.
And then, you know, the next month, you're not flat broke and living paycheck to paycheck. So
Yeah, man.
honestly, this can be a really great way to just get away from the paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think
no,
a lot of
definitely,
people
that'll-
do, because
yeah.
a lot of people I think are very instant gratified and
Yeah.
get paid and buy something.
They just kind of live
you
day
know.
by day.
I don't have a bill due until the end of the month, so
Yeah.
you know, I can pay this, even though like most people work, you know, scheduled jobs, you know,
There you go.
hourly, and it's like you're not gonna magically make more money this month to
No.
pay for that,
No,
you know,
heck
extra
no.
movie you went and saw or something.
Yeah.
When you weren't thinking about your car payment at the end of the month or something like that. So
Exactly.
organization.
No, yeah,
Absolutely has
it'll
to.
definitely help you make more calculated decisions, and you can keep track, you know.
Mhm.
I know, like with this person, they were saying that like at first, you know, they'd get paid and they thought that all the money was for them, but once I kind of, you know, showed them the little baggy system, they were like, oh my gosh, I actually don't have that much money, you know,
Mhm.
because one goes to this, one goes to that. It just kind of starts to divide, and I'm like, that's the real, like the reality to it, you know. It's like it's just because you get paid however much you get paid doesn't mean it's all for you.
Yeah.
And so I think the moment that, like the nice thing about the baggies is that once you like distribute the money to each baggie, you've already like accepted it that it's not yours. And so I think like when it comes time to paying off that certain bill, you're ready, you know, versus like not doing it, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, because you think, oh, this is your money, so you're like, what do you mean this is like, you
Yeah.
know, I'm going to this bill. So I think that's something that I've also learned too, is that since the get-go, you put it away and you automatically know that it's not yours, you know.
Yeah.
So when the day comes, it's easy to just accept it. If
Right.
anything, you actually get more excited because you're gonna pay off debt, you know.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
so,
Something
man.
I've kind of found in doing similar things is kind of the feeling of empowerment.
Yeah.
In having that money allotted to something. So, like in an instance where, you know, maybe I'm going to hire somebody to help me film something.
Yeah.
And the way that I like put money aside was to be able to pay for them. Like that's really empowering to know
Yeah.
that the money's there to pay.
Right.
To hire somebody. Like
Yeah.
that's like really empowering.
Yeah, yeah.
And not be like, you know, the day of and like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
I can't afford to pay you because
Well-
I took all the money and I spent
Exactly.
it. Yada yada. You know, so
Well, to me, that's more rewarding, like you said, to know that you have that just in case.
exactly.
That's why for me it's easy to like, you know, hold off on things that I'm craving, or I mean not craving, but like let's say I don't know, you just want to go buy something that's just out of your price, you know, and things like that. I just find that more rewarding, being able to just pay for things when needed, you know.
Yeah.
I guess like unexpected things, let's say,
Mhm.
you know.
Well,
So
there's a lot of that. You got to
yeah,
prepare for those things.
exactly.
I think that when you live paycheck to paycheck, you're not
No, man,
preparing
it's just
yourself for the unexpected.
Exactly.
The unexpected comes and you're like, oh, I'm
yeah,
broke.
exactly. And I mean, you know, everything's temporarily, so you know, it's like it's not really that bad. I think, you know, I've figured out a way to where it's balanced enough to where you're still, I guess, forcing yourself almost in a way, you know, but it's not too cruel, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
You know what's
Uh,
great that I've learned about money recently?
Huh?
In close relation to what you just said, is that it's not temporary. but money also is very temporary.
Yeah.
Which is the great thing, because I think that I
Exactly.
used to be kind of scared of money, and like, if I got $20, I want to hold on to
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Because,
exactly.
ooh, $20 bill.
Exactly.
Like, you know,
That's
or I
what
wouldn't
I'm
want to
saying.
spend it because then the fear of not having it. But
Yeah.
then somebody that I was talking to, it was actually my grandma, she told me, you know, just spend it. You'll make it back. And like, not just, and I had a great grandmother that when I was really little, she'd tell me, you know, money grows on trees, yada yada.
Yeah.
No, it's just paper.
Yeah.
Not just it grows on trees, but it's just paper.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that one didn't click for me as much as so the grandma of mine telling me, just spend the money, you'll make it back. Like, you're in the moment, you know, buy the ice cream, do the fun
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
you know, do that thing, because in the opposite, you know, in the same opposite sense, it is temporary.
It
that
is.
You will make it back.
Yeah.
But as long as you're being responsible,
Yeah,
and not spending
exactly.
outside of the bills that you need to pay for.
Right, right,
like,
right.
Oh, you know,
Yeah.
Zach said that I could just spend it because, you know, I'll make
Yeah.
it back. You know, if, like I said, you're not all of a sudden going to make more money in that month. But like, if
Right.
you got it. And so like, that's helped me a lot in like the fear of spending money, but also in the excitement to make money again.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like a little reset.
there's like this cash flow thing that you
Yeah.
start kind of building in your mind where it's like, when I'm spending money, I'm making more money.
There you go.
Because like, I'm staying busier and
Yeah.
I'm being more productive with it. But like, if I'm not doing anything and staying, you know, laying low and not
Yeah.
spending money, I'm also not making as much money. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really plays on itself.
Kind of depends on the person. You know, you got to start wherever you have to work with what you can. Like I said, if it requires another job, requires overtime, you know, you do what you got to do. But yeah, basically that's kind of what I picked up on over the years, and yeah, basically,
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start
Pretty
with
simple.
that trick.
yeah. I mean, you know,
Because like I said, I at times I'll put like a lump sum into like one spot and then
yeah.
like
But see, that's
pull it and put it in
yeah.
its different places as needed, rather
Mhm.
not like
But see-
separated like this. And I really like this,
Yeah.
having it separate areas completely rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
oh,
But
it's
see-
all set aside, but it's really kind of not at that point. Like
Yeah,
you've got
yeah.
it even more set aside.
Exactly. Yeah, but like even like how we talked about in the last video, you know, like even if you can save a little bit, I think that's the key. You know, just save a little bit, and yeah, man. I mean,
that's
like I
right.
said, time keeps going, so you can't stop it. So before you know it, if you keep consistent with that, you'll have something because you'll have something. And like I said,
That's a
it'll-
good statement. Very, very simple, but very profound. And
Yeah.
if you spend it, you're not going to have it. Don't be
Exactly.
surprised when you don't have any money because you spent
You
it.
spent it,
But if
you
you
know?
saved it, you know, every dollar does add up. And,
Yeah.
you know, in a year from now, if you saved every month, all of a
How
sudden,
much
say you
could that-
saved $50 a month
Yeah.
for 12 months. You got an extra
Yeah, yeah.
$600, you know,
Yeah.
because you saved. Or if
Exactly.
you spent that,
Yeah, yeah.
broke
I mean,
again till next paycheck.
basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
so-
like just imagine like if someone would have told you, you know, to save $5 for 15 years straight, like how much money would that have been?
A
You know,
lot.
that would have been a lot. The crazy part is that you can't go back in time, but the
Yeah.
good thing is that you can start it today,
Yeah.
and so it's just that same, you know, and so that's kind of why I guess I jumped into it, you know, because I was like, well, you know, gotta figure it out, man. You know,
Yeah.
you can't just live check to check, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so-
where we've got a future to like, kind of look forward to and plan for,
There you go.
be aware of,
Yeah.
build for the future. There's only ever really the now, and so kind of like what you just said, like if you just keep living your nows like they're nows,
Yeah.
not thinking about the future, all of a sudden the future now is going to be a crappy.
Exactly.
You don't have anything around you.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. No,
Rather
no,
than if
yeah.
You spend your now working on something for the future. You know, person 5 years
Yeah.
from now is going to be really happy that
Yeah.
you know started that, and that's I think a really mature thing. And like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
started to see the changes in working my life with that kind of
Yeah.
mindset. You know.
No, yeah, and
So-
it's important. I mean, because, like again, like that's why I think that this system is good because it's like you're living in the moment, but you're also building for the future a little bit. That's why I like this. It's not so just for the future.
Right.
It's just a little bit of both, and I think that's why it works. You know, this person in particular actually still kept the same job, and I mean it worked. You know. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, you gotta be disciplined though. You gotta be consistent. not to sacrifice. You know, if you like to have 4 or 5 coffees every day, well, I mean, I don't know, man. What can I say? Go get one. You know, so it's definitely gonna
Go to the gas station instead.
require something like that. You know, it's not just all of a sudden you can buy Gucci the next day or whatever. It's like, no, man, you gotta simplify your life, and then basically whatever difference you have at the end of the day, at the end of the month, you throw it into these, and it's you break it down. It's more controlled. You gotta be confident with your money too. You know, it's a tool.
Mhm.
You gotta take care of it. Use it wisely.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, money is absolutely a tool. It speaks, it drives things, it's all around us. You know,
Yeah.
cash is flying around,
Yeah,
digital
man.
money's flying all around. Like, might not want to admit it, but like, life really does kind of almost revolve around money.
And that's the thing, man. So I mean, you know,
Making up
yeah. I mean,
for
you
it.
want to at least have some control over it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be
You don't
check
wanna
to check.
control
You know.
You
Yeah.
definitely will.
Yeah. Exactly.
Society can be harsh. If you don't have money, they don't care.
Yeah.
It's you owe, and like that can be a tough place
Exactly.
to get into. And so taking control,
Yeah.
like we mentioned, it's really empowering.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I mean, you know, I'm willing to help anybody out, you know, if they want to sit down and figure out their system, you know. Like I said, everyone's different. So, I mean, I'm always open to that as well, you know, figuring it all out.
Omar's gonna become a financial advisor.
Hey, man, I get asked quite
$300 an hour.
Shoot, man, I don't know. I mean, I get asked quite a bit here and there, and so, you know, it's cool. I feel like I said, you know, it's important at least to have an idea,
Yeah.
because it sucks, man, being check to check, and it's horrible, man. I mean, eventually you want to kind of break the system, break the cycle, and at least be okay, at least breathe, you know. Like I said, at least when something unexpected happens, at least be ready for it, you know.
Yeah. It's
You
it's
know,
really
so-
insane how much of an effect money can have on you in that aspect of being able to breathe. Like,
Yeah.
I picked up on that you said. that,
Yeah.
Like you can, I felt anyways.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've got a good amount of money, and there's definitely been times where I have no money. Like I've done drag myself
Yeah.
out, but
Oh,
have
yeah.
had a lot of fun getting myself to broke. And
Yeah.
then you get there and it's like it really is like hard to breathe. It's like you're worrying about like how you're gonna like pay the
Yeah.
next bill. Like I mentioned, it's coming up.
Yeah.
You know, the days are gonna keep going and like it's gonna come and you're
Yeah.
gonna owe. And so it can really be like a stressful
overwhelming,
thing.
yeah, it's
And so
stressful.
it's
Yeah.
wild how just being on one side or
Yeah.
the other of the spectrum, like your whole
Yeah.
like emotion
But you know,
can change.
it's just being organized though, because now you're just, you know, like you got a visual of it, so now you know kind of where you stand.
Exactly.
versus
Exactly.
not.
So you're doing yourself a favor by
Yeah.
doing it, if anything, because not only you're not gonna live paycheck to paycheck, you're gonna be more organized and
Yeah.
be giving yourself a sense of security by knowing that with this system or a system like it and keeping on top of it,
Mhm.
you're not gonna get below zero and be worrying about the next.
Exactly.
You're always gonna be on the uprise after that.
Or I mean, even if that is coming, you know that it's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I mean, obviously you don't want to be there, but you're kind of aware of what's happening at least. You
Yeah,
know.
I think awareness is just like
Yeah,
really
it's huge, man.
the first and biggest part, and then once you're aware, you start making changes and you
Exactly.
start implementing systems like this and start
Exactly.
organizing yourself, and
Yeah.
you know it's on up from there, because if
Basically,
you start with
yeah.
0 and you start saving $5 a month, all of a sudden you got 5, 10, 15. You're not at 0
Exactly,
anymore. You've
yeah.
got $15 more
Yeah.
than you did 3 months ago. You know?
Yeah.
Plus, like you're keeping up on your bills, and you don't have
Exactly.
credit card companies calling you
Yeah.
with higher interest rates because you haven't been paying because you were too broke to pay it or whatever. So
Yeah.
once you get on this, you're gonna be gradually continue
Yeah.
climbing. You know?
Basically.
Once that savings up to $300, don't go necessarily pull it and buy a new TV. Like unless you want to be back to 0 and start the whole thing back over.
No, but
that's awareness, right?
yeah.
You're gonna be aware that that's where you're gonna be at, or if you don't do that, you're gonna be here.
Yeah.
So,
But see,
just
like,
know it.
but like now that you said about going and buying the TV, like that's why I got this one that says fun money.
exactly, and that's part of your system. Is
Yeah.
having that allotted
You know? Yeah.
fun money so
Yeah.
that you can cover all your stuff. You've got a savings, you've got your payments,
Yeah.
and your third one is your fun money. So you never have to worry about
Exactly.
touching your savings.
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
got your fun money too.
Exactly. And then so like the moment you run out, that means, hey man, you got to work a little more,
You gotta have
sacrifice
fun.
a little bit
You gotta
more.
have fun. If you
Yeah.
start dipping into anything else, now you're not gonna have savings, or now you're not gonna be able to pay a bill, which
Exactly. A lot of it's
you
just
shouldn't be okay
discipline.
with yourself. You know?
Exactly.
That's just not the question.
Well, I mean, the way I see it, it's like if Like if you don't have it, that means you haven't earned it.
Yeah.
It's simple as that, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, that's that's a huge one too. And I think really profound is like money definitely like I said, it just flies around, and you definitely have to earn
It does,
Like,
yeah, man.
Everybody, I don't think anybody's entitled to more or less of it, and I think that to have it, you really got to do something that earns it. If you're gonna work for somebody, you're giving your time to do a job for somebody that has money to pay you for doing something that somebody
Right.
didn't have to do it, you know?
Right.
And so I don't know, it's just,
Yeah.
I gotta keep on top of
No,
it.
yeah. And I guess like another addition, like I've told people too, is like, you know, like basically like when it comes to opportunity as well, like I've told people is like, you know, there's only like two options, I guess, that you can basically apply yourself if opportunity does come at your door, you know, and the first one would be basically like, you know, either you have the talent or the skill to apply yourself, and then that's how you can, you know, apply yourself to the opportunity. But let's say you don't have the talent or skill, you have to have a little bit of money saved up because everything requires money. And so this is something that would basically prepare you for that, you know, because people always say, oh, well, it's because I'm just waiting for an opportunity. But let's say it does come to you, you know, you don't have the talent or skill or the money, it's just going to fly by you,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I agree with that. If you've got talent, you can do something
Yeah.
easy to make money.
And
that the
in
next
place of
person
it,
can't
basically,
do.
you know?
If you've got a skill, you can go do something that somebody without a skill can do to make money. If you don't
Yeah.
have either of those,
Then what are you
then,
doing?
you know, maybe you do something that makes you money, but this is where the system definitely is going to be more important, so that you can work a
Baby
you know,
steps.
more just kind of a clockwork thing that's like
Yeah.
guaranteed to make you a living.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the thing with that is like once you start building savings, money talks. You don't have to know
Exactly.
anything about business
Exactly.
to invest with somebody. Like your money's gonna talk to somebody. If you say, "Hey, I've got 10, 20, 50,000,
Yeah.
you know, however much you've saved over the
Yeah.
course of how many years, like if you just check your head down and say, I'm gonna save. I don't know anything about, you know, this corporation, but if I
Right,
sit
right.
down and save for the
You
next
just
10
put-
years, all of a sudden I'm gonna have a lot of cash. I'm gonna go buy
Right.
some stocks,
Exactly.
or like, you know, invest into something or whatever, and like
Yeah, yeah.
that talks, you know, so you
But
don't
see,
have to know as much.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you know, those are the
But without
options.
those,
Exactly.
without one of them, like,
Those are the options that I think that I've learned throughout the years is like, you know, if you don't got one or the other, man, it's like, what are you doing? You know, some people get complacent, and it's just like, hey, man, well, if you don't want to learn a skill, that's fine, but always have a little bit, you know.
well, like
'cause
you
never
said
know.
with like money's earned is like, if you don't have a skill, you're gonna have to.
Work
And you
for it.
want money, like
Exactly.
you can't have both. You can't have
Yeah.
I don't want to go learn a skill and I don't
Right.
want money. Like if you're gonna not want to learn something, then be okay living
The way you are.
a moderate, you know,
Yeah.
just kind of a minimalistic life. You know,
Right.
if you want money, and I think that comes out among people just kind of more naturally. You got
Right.
the hustlers and the people that just want to live life.
Right, and that's okay
And
too.
they'll do, you know,
Yeah.
work hard and
Right.
you know, if it's a skilled thing, you know, they'll learn the skill, or if it's, you know, not, they'll work really hard, you know, double hard to make just, you know, the same little bit of money or whatever. So it's really just like doing something.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure.
Do something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why, you know.
If you want money, it's earned, like you said, it's earned. Like you
Yeah.
can't, you're not gonna make it just sitting around. So you know.
And that's the thing, you know, it's like we all work a lot, we all put in a lot of hours, but basically without you having any organization with it, it's pretty much nothing, you know, it comes and goes.
You're just a filter for
Yeah,
society.
versus it
honestly.
coming and actually controlling it.
Well, I just had a huge epiphany through that actually. That, like, if you don't do something with it, you're just a filter.
Yeah.
You know? Society's gonna give you money and you're gonna give it right back.
Yeah.
You know, you're a non-stop
Right.
train to.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's like one person, how many hours can you really put in? You're just one person, you know. So it's just like if
Yeah,
you don't take a little bit of that and put it to quality use, you know, it's just time lost, man.
Yeah.
Lost files.
Yeah, you can only work if it's not an hourly skill, you can only work so many hours.
Right.
Like,
Right.
even on a salary thing, like even if you were working a salary job, you can only work up to that
So
point.
much.
Like if you start
Exactly.
working more than that, like you're losing money.
Exactly.
Or vice versa, you know, if you aren't working hard enough, you're gonna lose the job.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how that goes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, I think if you're looking at it hourly, you can only work so many hours in a week or in a day or week, a month
Yeah.
or whatever. So if you're gonna say, I'm gonna go get a job that's 40 hours and pays $15 an hour, you can only make
So much. Right, exactly.
and so that's not gonna change. So how can you make a difference with that? By changing what you have control over. And I think that's a big
Right.
part of it is like,
Right. Because I
Control.
mean, cause everything counts, man. Every penny, every dollar,
Mhm.
whatever. Even if it's just a little bit, man. That little bit, it's gonna grow. It's gonna go a long way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what
Yeah.
I've told people. It's just like, it's kind of like saying, you get paid $15 an hour. So if you're saying that a penny is nothing, that means your hour was nothing. It's
Yeah.
just like, no, everything.
no,
it's
you
hard work,
spent
man.
a whole hour of your
Exactly.
life for $15.
And you're not, and
that's
like the
pretty
crazy part is
valuable.
that you're not gonna get that time back. So
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You're not
You
gonna
know?
get the time back. You can't make double that in
You
that
can't.
same hour. you
Yeah.
know. If you don't do anything with that hour, you made zero. So you can't make less. You can't make more than that. So you didn't. Do,
yeah,
well, that's just gone.
Exactly.
There's no edit undo.
Yeah.
So really, just being. I think if it's somebody struggling with making money, it's just being aware of that.
Yeah.
First.
yeah.
You can work 2 jobs, so you can work 80 hours in a
Right.
week. You can work up to 100 hours in a week. You're gonna be really, really working hard. So
Yeah.
that's where you maximize your time.
Yeah.
And so if you maximize your time working and really hustle and grind, and
Yeah.
then minimize your expenses, your
Yeah.
profit revenue
And
is gonna
and I
be
mean it's just
increased by a lot, and you can
Yeah.
put it into your bags,
savings, yeah.
to really scale.
and it just makes sense. I mean honestly, I don't know, I don't think I would just get a second job just because and just not have a system and just blow the money.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't work that hard just to blow money.
exactly.
If you're gonna work
Nobody's
that
gonna want to
hard-
work that hard just to blow money away.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why I've done it before is because I was gonna make every second count, and I have,
Yeah.
and so it's worth it for me because I didn't just waste my time,
Mhm.
and you can just go on to the next thing,
I think the only way that you could argue that it's not like a waste of time is if you're just truly set on,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
true.
work really hard this week and I'm gonna get paid and I'm gonna do it
Yeah,
again.
That's
And
true.
that's how I like living, which is
I
kind
mean,
of that
yeah,
month
like
to
I
month
said,
type of living,
yeah,
And
it
if
depends
that's
on
your
people.
grind, that's cool.
Yeah,
But if you're trying to progress, not just progress, if you're trying to build and capitalize on
right.
your
Build a
time that you
foundation.
used,
Yeah,
then you
Yeah.
don't want to be month to month. You want things to
Yeah.
start building because once you pay off debt, whatever that debt was for,
right,
there's a fruit of that. If it was
right,
student loans or a credit card, you got something out of it. So you've
Right.
paid off whatever you got out of it. So you've got that on your belt now. So now you've got the extra money that you were putting into it
Yeah.
too. And so you could go and play another money game.
right. Yeah.
Credit,
I mean,
another credit account, a
Yeah,
car
yeah.
or something, or a house,
basically, yeah,
Maybe one of your your debt lines was a line of credit for a small credit card, so you could build up some credit.
credit, yeah,
Because if we're watching this, we're playing the money game.
Yeah.
You want to build a little bit of credit so you can,
Right.
down
Get that
payment on
score
a
up.
house and those things. And as you do these things, you learn more.
No, yeah,
You
man.
Start
I mean,
building, and all of a sudden,
and literally
you're
so
actually doing stuff.
yeah,
Making moves.
exactly. So much opportunity actually is actually out there.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, at least when that does happen, you're at least ready and prepared. You're
Yeah.
not like, oh, well, I don't
Yeah.
have anything,
Yeah.
And so, I mean, opportunities don't come all the time. So when they do, you wanna get them.
So in conclusion, organization's the best. So in closing, organization's the best preparation. Organization is the best.
Yeah, man. I mean, it works because it works. Like I said,
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, thank you guys for watching, and if you guys need help, definitely don't hesitate. I'm open-minded to help you guys out, and thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys on the next one.